So hello everyone, in this video we are going to see another problem based on recursion. So we are going to solve this problem using recursion. So the problem is we have to find the factorial of a number. So a number is given to us and we have to find the factorial of that number and give the factorial as output. So in this example the input that is given to us is 4 and the factorial of 4 is 24. So how we will calculate the factorial? We will simply do 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So we will simply start multiplying 4 until we reaches 1 with all the elements in between. So in this way we will get 24 as the answer. Suppose if we have the example as 3, so then in that case our output will be 3 into 2 into 1, which is 6. So this is how we will solve the factorial of a number. Now how we can solve this using recursion? Let's see that. So first of all we will write a function for calculating the factorial value. So factorial will be the name of our function, which will take an integer n. Now how we can calculate the factorial is simply for an integer value n, if we will consider this case, for an integer value n, we can take this nth value multiplied by factorial of n minus 1 value. So if we will see this condition, then in this way we can simply calculate it. So so in this case 4 into the factorial of 3, which will be 6, will give us 24. Again, when it will be called for 3, it will consider this as 3 into factorial of 2, which will be 3 into 2, which is 6. So this is how the function call will happen basically. Now in our case, how we can write that? Simply we can do is return n into factorial of n minus 1. So in this case, so in this way it will be calling for n minus 1 in each function call. And now we also have to write the base case. So the base case in this case will be, if whenever the n value reaches 0, we have to return 1, because simply if our n value is 3, we can see that 3 into 2 into 1, and whenever our value is 0, then in that case the factorial of 0 is always 1. That is why we are returning 1. If we will return 0, then that will make the whole equation or calculation as 0, and we will always get the answer as 0 only, and that will be a wrong way to calculate the factorial, and we will not get the factorial in that case. So that is why we are simply doing whenever we reaches 0, it will simply return 1. Also a base case can be when the n value is given as 0, so that in that case it should simply return 1, because the factorial of 0 is 1 only. So this is how we will write the function for this. Now let's see how this function call will happen for, let's say, for value of n as 4. So first of all, function factorial will be called for value 4. So it will check if n equals to 0. No, if n is not equals to 0, it will execute this statement. So 4 into, it will call for a smaller value, which will be 3. Again this will be called this factorial of 3, we will look for this function factorial of 3. So 3 into, since n value is not 0, it will call for 3 into factorial of 2. Again for this 2 into factorial of 1, and lastly 1 into factorial of 0. So factorial of 0 will return 1. So 1 into 1 will be 1, 2 into 1 will be 2, factorial of 2 will return 2, 3 into 2 will be 6, factorial of 3 will return 6, and 6 into 4 will be 24, factorial of 4 will be returning 24. So in this way we will get the output as 24. Now let's see the code for this question. So the code is same that we have discussed just now. Let's try executing it, and we are calling the factorial function for the input value 4, so that we can get the output as 24. As you can see, we got the output as 24. Suppose let's call it for value 1. So in this case it should give the answer as 1, and when we will call it for 0, it should also give us the answer as 1 because the factorial of 0 will be 1 only. So as you can see that we have checked all the edge cases and this function is totally fine. So that's all for this video. Thank you.